Don't women get raped in India every 4 seconds? No?
Can you show me that stat? Then I'll agree or disagree.
Well, women don't get raped in India.
Yeah, show me the stats.
Women don't get raped in
Show
India.
me the stats.
Women don't. I'm live right now.
Okay, show me
Google
the
it.
stats.
Google it right now. See what pops up.
Right, you should show the stats.
So you're telling me it's a lie?
Okay.
Are you telling me it's a lie? Are you telling me it's a lie?
Who are raping me?
Is that a lie? Is that a lie?
You don't have any.
Is that a lie? Is that a lie? Cameraman. You're extremist, aren't you? That's why you don't want to be on camera.
You are.
Huh? That's why you don't want to be on camera.
Come on. I don't want to talk to you because
You don't want to talk to me. You don't want to talk to me. I'll make you a cup of tea. I'll make you a cup of tea.
No, can you first of all? But you're not neutral, are you? Are you neutral?
I am with you.
Right. If you're neutral, now tell me. I'm going to ask you specifically 2 questions. Part A, Part B. How many Hindus were lynched, killed, murdered, burned by the Muslim mob, and how many
80 million.
Muslims?
80 million.
And what? What is this loser talking about? One moment.
Invasion started coming.
One moment. How many Muslims were lynched, mobbed, killed, murdered, burnt by the Hindu mobs last 2 years?
I will answer you.
People say,
One moment. Go ahead.
I think people say that one of the longest genocides.
Because you're neutral, right?
One of the
Give me a figure from the last 2 years.
I'm giving you. I'm giving you two. I'm giving you.
Say, I am not keeping.
You'll have your chance. Be
What's
patient.
wrong with this country? What is wrong with you?
What is wrong with
Either
you?
ask the government or ask someone who is keeping
You're a
the
journalist,
record.
right? You know the figures?
Yes. So I write on
Remember what you said?
environment.
You said you are a neutral journalist?
I am a journalist. I write on environment. I write on climate change. I write
So
on
do you know
Pakistan
about
and
those
India.
figures? Do you know about what's happening in India in the last 2 years?
Yeah, I know.
You'll have your turn. Hang on. I'm not interested.
You are talking to the wrong person. I'm from India. I'm coming from India.
One moment. Bro, you're not that you stay in the queue. Right. So, here's the
But you shouting.
So you right. Answer. Brother, please. Excuse me, please. Don't get involved. So, because you are a journalist, at least you have some information about what's happening in India, right? As a neutral journalist. So now, give me a rough figure from what you know.
What is happening in Pakistan?
Go ahead.
Can you tell over there?
25% Hindu, now 2% left. 25,
You have your chance.
2% left.
Yeah, go ahead.
You killed, destroyed.
Go ahead.
Women's been raped, killed.
Every week.
Yeah, every week. It's happening in India.
Go ahead.
In BBC
I'm listening.
confirmed here. Girls grooming
As a
them.
neutral
UK,
journalist,
in India,
you should
Canada, everywhere.
Don't get involved.
Daughter is
Don't get involved.
abandoned last 1 year. Nobody
Go ahead.
When we speak about the atrocities of the Muslims on Hindus,
So this is what is
Hindus
happening.
and Sikhs have been completely wiped out from Afghanistan.
Last 2 years?
What is the population of Muslims?
Last 2 years?
How did they grow? Like
Bomb blasts
How
and
did they
attacks
grow?
have happened
Is that last 2 years?
Forcefully.
Is that last 2 years?
Forcefully.
So, say that again.
April
Your ancestor, ask your granddad name. His name will be Baba
Just 1
Ramchandra.
second. Relax. You'll have your chance. Just stay in the queue. Come on. So why is a neutral journalist just walking away?
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes.
Yeah, let's talk about Pakistan. How many people been killed? Talk about Hindus in Kashmir.
Relax.
Yeah, I'm relaxed.
What's your name?
My name is Jay.
Jay, my name is Mansur.
Mansur, which country? Pakistan, right? From Pakistan, yeah?
I'm not from Pakistan.
Okay.
So I don't represent Pakistani politics or Pakistani citizenships or whatever. So now, what I want you to know is, are you a peace-loving individual?
This is the
Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina, Sarve Bhavantu Niramiya. We are the one who giving you shelter when you came to India, giving you the food to the Polish people when they had World War. So nobody, you can't compare. We are the biggest peacemaker in the world.
Jay.
Seriously, what the fuck are you doing?
The peacemaker.
Jay. So you are a peaceful individual.
Yes,
Right. Are you also a man of justice and fairness?
200%. Why not?
200%. Fine. So now tell me, being a man of justice and fairness and a peaceful individual, for the last, I'm only restricted to the last 2 years. In the last 2 years, give me a figure of the violence that was happening and the number of people that have been burned, killed, lynched, murdered by two groups I'm focusing on. The Hindu mob, and if you are saying the Muslims are doing that, the Muslim mob. Give me a rough figure.
Why 2 years? Why not 5 years? 10 years?
5 years.
Yeah, 5 years. Kashmir, name of Kashmir.
I'm not interested in Kashmir.
Yeah.
India.
Yeah, 25% Hindu was in Pakistan.
Oh no, I'm not interested in Pakistan.
I'm telling
or
you.
Kashmir, which is
nothing.
wait. India itself, not the part where there's a dispute, is a part of Pakistan or the part of India. So leave the issues of Kashmir aside. Tell me, in India itself, mainstream India, Indian provinces.
Yeah, still more Hindus got killed, whether it's the Delhi riots, whether it's Hyderabad riots, whether it's Meerut riots.
Give me a number. Give me a number.
Number? You can see the guys in jail because of killing.
No, give me a number. Number of people that got killed. Jay, don't get pulled away.
No.
It's your opportunity to engage with the world, to really tell the people what's going on in India.
Yeah, it is what is happening in India.
So answer my question, Jay.
I'm telling you, Muslims dominating, they're misusing. What Nupur Sharma said, nothing wrong. But look what is happening.
What was my question that you were answering?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Your question, I'm answering your question.
Which is?
Yeah.
What is my question?
Your question is how many Hindu got killed?
And how many Muslims got killed?
Yeah,
go ahead.
70% Hindu got killed, 30%
Give me a
Muslim.
number.
I don't know the number.
But you are from India. You came to volunteer to talk about it. And you don't know?
How give me the percentage?
Give me a rough number. Is it like 30 people?
No, more than 30.
Like how many?
Probably 10, 20, 30,000.
10, 20, 30,000 in the Indian provinces other than Kashmir killed by Muslims.
I include Kashmir.
No, don't include Kashmir.
India. Kashmir is part of India.
Listen,
why not?
Jay, listen, Jay.
No, you, why not?
Jay,
How
listen.
many people?
I'm trying to make you
Kashmir. Why not
a
Kashmir?
real person of fairness and justice,
Yeah.
and a peaceful person.
You know, one
Listen.
thing I'm telling you here,
Jay.
you talking about justice.
Jay.
You are the biggest misleading of justice. Biggest misleading of
Where am I
justice.
from? Where am I from?
I don't know.
So how can you even accuse me of that? Excuse me. Now he has to go for the car keys. Is there any other Hindu, fair, peaceful, just people? Brother, excuse me. Brother, a Muslim? Assalamu alaikum. Alhamdulillah. Come here. So you also wanted to volunteer to speak earlier on. Your friend went there, dragged away by a car key issues. He's not going to come back. This is a reality. It's an issue like the other journalists also was dragged away. So may I ask you, because the violence is happening in India, we don't want...
What you want to talk? You want to talk about what? Let's start talking from Pakistan. And then we'll talk about India.
So now, what's your name? Raj. My name is Mansur, right? We do not want to see any violence, any aggression, any injustice anywhere in the world. Do you agree?
We believe in that. We practice that. Do you practice? Do you practice?
Look, right. So, as I was saying, when I saw the Indian flag, Indian people, I heard the word genocide. I said, finally now, some really must be fair, just people talking about the genocide against the non-Hindus, against the Muslims in India happening.
Just a minute.
Wait, I'm not finished.
Ignorance.
Wait a minute. No, you can.
I thought.
Wait a minute.
Can I finish?
Okay.
So when I first came and I saw this, I said, finally now.
Wait a minute.
There are some very good, honorable people, men and women, who are from Indian ethnicity. They are now going to speak the truth and say the thing that is happening by the Modi government in India, the genocide against the non-Hindus, against the Muslims, for example. Now you'll be talking against it. Wait. Listen. And then I asked someone, and I heard it was the opposite. So that's why I want to know, where are the real people who can talk about what is happening in India? So now I'm asking, Jay, I'm going to ask you this question. Violence is happening in India by both sides. We can see that. Don't ask me which social media we see.
Okay.
Now I want to ask this question to you because you came to talk about this protest. So you are peaceful people or people of justice. That's what you're trying to at least illustrate. Give me a figure. The number of people that were lynched, killed, burnt, murdered by either of the two mobs from both sides. Last 5 years.
Okay, wait a minute.
Last 5 years. And don't focus on Kashmir.
Just a minute.
On India itself.
Talk yourself. Now listen to me. Listen to me. You talk about humanity. 5 minutes before you give a lecture about you believe in humanity and all, right? You contradict yourself. You should have spoken about that. I want to see the genocide happening in India on either side, but you will not speak about that. Very conveniently, you will say it's a Muslim genocide. It's a Muslim genocide. Do you know what is happening in India? Do you know how many Muslims are killing Hindus? How many times they kill? How many they did the ethnical cleansing of Kashmir? How they asking to do? You go each town, each city, each place, they ask you, right? Each town, each village you go, they have made a ghettos. They don't want Hindus to go over there. They said, this is our land, this is what we want, get away from there. This is what is happening, right? So if you see, yes, violence is happening, but it's a reaction to the action which has been instigated on the name of so-called peace, loving and all. How can your religion so fragile that on one single comment which is written in a book that Muhammad did so and so, people get violence about it and then they go and on the street protest? Why? If it is there, let it be there. It's written on the book. Read the book. She hasn't quoted anything wrong, but they will go, and when they go on loot, they will burn the villages, burn the town, livelihood of people. People react, right? So you need to understand. You cannot just go and say, oh, this is what is happening. You need to understand that.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Thank you very much, Jay. What was my question to you that you answered?
I gave you the whole answer to your question.
What was my question?
No, you asked about how many Hindus were killed and how many Muslims were killed.
And what did you say?
So I just told you all the things, what is happening to that.
Did
I
you
do not know the number. Do you know? You tell me the number.
So Jay, if you didn't know the number, you could have simply said,
why I have to say that? You will give me a bloody whole lecture about the whole humanity you believe and then the Muslim genocide.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I don't see from the Hindus, I have not seen Hindu people coming up and really talking about the truth.
Do you know something?
I thought you could be one of them.
No.
And I can be.
I'll give you the good example.
I have not finished.
Watch NDTV in India. NDTV will give you bloody numbers. They are Hindus. And they will give the number. This is or not.
Do you watch
India
it?
I don't watch it because I don't watch it.
Stop it. Get some help.
Raj, calm down. Calm down, man. Raj. Okay, Raj, who killed Gandhi?
Right?
Hindu or Muslim?
Muslims killed them.
Gandhi! Look at this guy, he doesn't know who killed Gandhi. And he thinks he's an Indian.
Who killed Jinnah?
No, wait.
You know,
Who killed Raj,
wait a minute.
Who killed Gandhi?
I don't know my history.
It's Godse. Okay? Godse wasn't a Muslim. You didn't even know that. So let me educate you on India. Who killed Indira Gandhi? Again, not a Muslim.
What is it?
Who killed Indira Gandhi? Who killed Rajiv Gandhi? Again, not a Muslim.
You are
There you
talking
go.
about
So the Hindus are killing their own Hindus and they are saying we are the ones killing.
Emotional damage.
So the thing is, let me say something. The reason I come down because I do want to talk about the RSS Hindutva guys, because those guys are not as clean cut as you think. The RSS Hindutva, I believe, the founder actually supported Hitler, and the killing of the Jews. So I want to talk to you about it because those guys come over. I'm not with the Muslims, but I'm not with the RSS either. I'm a Punjabi separatist or a Khalistani. Sorry, you had to. I'm a Khalistani separatist. So they're against Christians and Muslims. And I'll explain to you why through facts. Problem is this, the problem is this, that they don't represent Hindus, Those guys are basically fundamentalists. Their group called the BJP was founded upon the RSS. The RSS, the leader of the RSS, was a supporter of Hitler, and he believed that what Hitler done with the Jews is what he wants to do to the minorities in India. So everyone knows it. I'm not caping for Muslims, but I'm not going to be siding with the BJP guys, because those guys want to destroy the Sikhs as well, and the Christians. They hate Christians just as much as they hate Muslims, because they want to get all the say dharmic faiths out of India, including Christianity, including Islam. So please don't be fooled by these guys. They should have had a right to speak at Oxford Union. They should have a right, and they could have been debunked. That's where the British government is going wrong, because they're not allowing them to speak, and then they've come here, said their bit, and no one can challenge them. Now, unfortunately, by the time I got here, it was too late. They've all gone now. I can't find a single Hindutva guy. Yeah, but I've got my Sikh brothers here as well, yeah, so I didn't know they're going to be down here. But I just want people to really realise that as much as we have problems with Muslims or whatever, it doesn't mean you side with the RSS or BJP, because as we know, what happened in Nazi Germany, yeah, a genocide is a genocide. The Sikhs have also been persecuted by India. So I'm against India as well. I don't want anyone. Oh, Bole Soria, yeah. Yeah, Bole Soria. So I'm against the Indian government, because the Indian government is just as bad as Pakistan. Both countries are backward, oppressive states, yeah? So both of them are banned on both. Big up to Khalistan. Right now, during the month of June, the Sikhs were genocided at the Golden Temple by the Indian government. So I'm just going to say this. Everyone knows I'm not biased. I've got my issues with Islam myself and Muslims, but I'm not going to side with the BJP and RSS, because I know those guys are just as bad as them. If they were in power, they'll kill you, or doing what they're doing in India. They're killing people. What's the difference between killing someone for eating a cow and killing someone for blaspheming against Prophet Muhammad? They're the same thing. Yeah? So I do agree they should have spoken though. Should have been. I was a little bit late though. Sorry, Busker. I had to come down and say, because I saw you as, look, to the Jewish community, anybody that's supporting Hitler, and I can prove it through facts in the future, that he's the founder of that group, supported the killings of Jews. Yeah? He said this is what should happen in India. So I'm sorry, the Jews should know, the Christians should know, they're no friends of yours, man. Not the Hindus, the Hindus for RSS, BJP. Anyway, big up, man. I appreciate you allowing me to do that. Leave that. So if they say that they believe in RSS, they basically are saying they believe in a genocide of anybody that they deem to not be Indian in India. So Christians, Muslims and Jews, yeah, are not for them indigenous to India. So they would, in essence, want to get rid of them. Now, for the Sikhs out there that support the BJP and the RSS, they only see us as Hindus. And I'm saying you straight now, I'm not a Hindu. I've got no problem with my Hindu brothers and sisters, but I'm a Sikh, yeah? And so that's the thing. So their rhetoric here, although I agree they should be able to talk here, they have no love for Christians, they have no love for Muslims, they have no love for Jews or anybody else apart from Hindus. They want India to be a Hindu state, yeah, a fascist state. And Modi has now basically backtracked, because he set a fire in India, and now he wants to put it out by basically condemning some of these spokespeople that said some stuff about Prophet Muhammad on TV. Unfortunately, the BJP and the RSS agree with all this. The only reason they've decided to get rid of her, I think it's Nupur Sharma, is because of the fact the oil in Saudi Arabia, in the Middle East, they're getting basically getting slapped about for her saying that. So they've tried to get rid of her and try and dampen the situation. And Hindus don't stand with these guys, most of them. Most Hindus here just want to live peacefully. But unfortunately, the Hindutva guys that come down here today, they want to basically make India into a state where blasphemy and a non-secular country. And that's not what India was set out about. Pakistan has always had its, basically, they're kind of like, they were straightforward. This is a Muslim country where we have strict blasphemy laws. India was supposed to be a bastion of free speech, secularism, and freedom of religion. But it's not that anymore. What's happening right now is a disgrace in India. Firstly, it will start with the Muslims, then they'll go to the Christians, and then they'll go to the Jews, and any Jews that are left, and then the Sikhs will be next, yeah? It's going to be a slippery slope, so you need to wake up.
Excuse me.
You can't tolerate women talking, isn't it?
Excuse me, sister in humanity.
Why is it become a rich capital? Tolerate women talking, isn't it?
No.
Why is it become
I'm trying to have a conversation with the gentleman.
You know that, right? India is a rich capital.
I don't think so.
Look at your own statistics.